Hello guys, my name is Nine and welcome back to another video. Before we get any further, if you guys are new to the channel, please drop a like and subscribe as it greatly helps everything that I'm doing here. Today, we're going to be building a very unique base, something meant for those small group chads. This can be pulled off by a duo or even a trio. It's very easy to build, very cheap, and overall, just hyper defensive. Alright, without further ado, let's get into the cost and the upkeep of the base. Alrighty guys, here we're looking at the cost of the base. 60k stone, 71k metal frags, and 614 high qual. Keep in mind, I have tons of flex vending machines in this base, and also we have a mini china wall that adds a lot to that metal frag cost. You can remove it to cheap everything out. Okay, looking at the upkeep cost now, you'll see our real cost of all 5 external TCs. This is combined 9.3k stone, 13k metal frags, and 93 high qual. That is the combined. It is super cheap. Alrighty guys, without further ado, we're gonna hop into a tour real quick, and then after that, we'll be building the base. See you there. Alrighty guys, starting off with a tour here, we're gonna come to one of our external DCs and show this off. There's 4 of these, super cheap. Breaking this, we'll disconnect our external from our base so we can replace main DC. And placing back twig, we're reconnected. Nice and easy. There are 2 entrances into this base with peaks, like so, and the other 2 have bedrooms and batteries, like so. Jumping down here, we have turrets underneath. You can see that we have tons of room for large furnaces. And jumping over to this other bedroom thing, we'll show you this real quick. Battery to the side, you can just seal that off however you like, and a locker for kit storage. 2 beds makes it easy. Seal that off. Tons of room for large furnaces, deployables out here, entering into our mini china wall. Show this off for a second here. It's super simple. These doors you can't get pushed through, you can't make it through this gap really. Just overall, you get the point. Nice, just battlement area to peek out and shoot people from. And obviously you can spam turrets here and just glass one of these off if you really want a defendable base. Okay, entering in one of our 2 entrances, it's mirrored on both sides here. You go up a optional ladder hatch to what will be our semi-open core initially. So this is the semi-open core part. Well, this would be the more open core part as it has these ramp peaks up top and windows going into it. But as you can see here, there's nowhere really to hide in this spot. And then utilizing these squares with the ramps, we have honeycomb, like so. So that acts as honeycomb. And obviously coming up into this core, we have 2 ramp peak turrets. These things are amazing if you know my other base designs. They're super good. And then you have a total of 8 boxes in each of these 2 main loot rooms. And obviously super easy to reach all boxes. You're fine. And then also, obviously you see I've spammed bags here. And then this is also what the other side looks like. Just using it as honeycomb. Above these jump ups is where we'll go to our next level. But before we go there, we're gonna go down to starter unit. So this is where our tier 3 is, more bags, early game furnaces, tier 2 as well down here. And yet again, same concept as before. We use this as honeycomb. TC compartment is here. This is main upkeep of the base. Obviously the externals have a little bit of cost on them, but they're nothing real. Okay. Going back up. We'll go to one of these 2 jump ups. Doesn't matter which one you want to take. I'll show that off here. Boom, boom, either one you want to take. We have bedrooms on either side, so it's mirrored on the other side. So it's 4 bedrooms on this level. Okay, jumping up, this is our team bedroom and flex area. This is where our turrets are, covering these vending machine access points. You can either flex in here. You don't have to do these vending machines, they're entirely optional, but I like to have them for flexing. And also you put kit storage for this team bedroom. You can also just put lockers right on these ramps. It's another option. Coming out onto shooting floor, you'll see here that we have a very nice wide gap shooting floor with tons of angles, peek backs. No matter where they rocket or come from, you're gonna have the angles to get them. And then we even have these little door peaks that I'm liking a lot now. Just another angle to open up. And obviously it's mirrored on every side. So it's nice and simple. If you need extra battery spots, this is where you can put them. They're technically sort of exposed, but if you need more than the 2 batteries that are in these over here, the best suggestion for here, and I'll literally just show you right now, is grabbing a double door like so, garage door, battery, and some glass windows, and turning this into a battery room. You can also put lockers here or anything like that, but if you need extra battery space or locker space, this is going to be your go-to, and I'll show you that, like, yep. It obviously works. You can place whatever you want here, whatever you need extra help. Obviously this cost isn't added into the base right now, but there we are. And these are also pretty nice peek backs to the base and other angles. Pretty nice. Okay, going back in through the single door, we can go to a roof. We have a really simple roof on this base. We have 2 vending machine bunkers, which I'll show you how to open right now. And then over here, we'll have 4 in total bedrooms on the roof. So just a bed, locker. You can also fit like a large box and stuff in here, but just for now, it's fine. And as you can see, yet again, just the same thing. Flying up a little bit here, you'll see that we have a turret over each of these little roof pieces. So we have 4 turrets covered the entire roof. And then finally, grabbing a twig, opening up this bunker like so. Just like so. And this can't be accessed, obviously. So, awesome. That about does it for the entire base tour. It's a really simple base, but yeah. And then one last thing, apologies. Windmill spots right here. You can also put more windmills over here, straight up here, or you can even do them straight up off of these. All of it works. Just so you guys know that, because I know a lot of people like to spam windmills. Alrighty guys, without further ado, it's time to get on with the actual build. Alrighty guys, before we actually build the base, here is the overall footprint of the entire thing. As you can see here, it's just a simple 3x3 with triangles on the middle square on every side, just for honeycomb. You see we also have simple wide gaps here on every side, disconnectable TCs. You can obviously switch these to whatever you want. I'm just doing something basic, simple. You can switch them to basic Tory or whatever you like. And overall, it's a pretty simple and easy to build footprint. And obviously, it's about the size of a 5x5, so its overall footprint in total is really small and really easy to set down almost anywhere. Okay. And I'm gonna have build grade on just to make it a little easier on myself, but obviously your buildings will not upgrade right away. So starting off, you're just gonna wanna make a 1x1. This will be our TC compartment. And I personally like to do my TC like this. I don't need to maximize my storage in this thing. And then grabbing a double door of any kind, like so. Now expanding to a plus sign right here. This will be our airlock to the outside world. And these 2 areas will become loot rooms. If you can right away, do your ramps in them, like is shown in the tour, like this. But if you don't have the resources right away, it's not too critical. But if you can do this, it's beneficial. And I'm going to teach you guys how to place these boxes if you don't already know. Just stand where I am and then pull it as close to you, close as possible to yourself. And then coming up here, you got to place a little thing here, and then pull it as far as it humanly can go. And you'll figure out how close they come. And obviously, pretty easy to access these still. Yeah. And then I'm going to be putting double doors on these just for this time being. But obviously, you're going to want to switch these to garage doors the second you can. And in this area, I personally like to put my furnaces, small box. I'll show you how I do it here. So I like to put my bench like that. And then I'm going to get 2 furnaces and 6 bags in this entire starter. Now, obviously, this base is not meant for a ton of people, but you can easily fit a few people in this thing. You got a lot of loot space, you got a lot of everything. Okay. Expanding out now, I'm gonna replace these doors early as possible. And just so you know, you won't be able to place doors on these until these right here are upgraded to sheet metal. Like so. And obviously my bags are now in the way, but you get my point. Those ramps will need to be upgraded to sheet metal to place garage doors on them. But like so, we're good. Okay. Coming in and expanding another square, I'm going to be placing a half wall here just for a second. We're not actually going to keep this to put our shelf in to our main TC room. And jumping in here and sealing this off. This is a good time to garage door this, like so, and make this into our jump up. We'll rotate this wall later, but for now it's fine how it is. Okay, coming to the bottom here, I'm gonna place my ramp. Coming to the top here, this will be a double door. So for now, this will be our double door. Okay. Coming outside now, let's finish our main footprint. And then one of these tiles, you can easily put just like a twig or a wood triangle like this to make a jump up to your next level. So you can turn this any of these sides, because this will be just honeycomb at one point. So just using this as little jump ups for now, super beneficial. Okay. Okay. Going along and expanding our footprint on two sides, like so. We're going to turn it into little entrances, like so, on these two sides, so opposite sides. And the other two sides, these are going to become honeycomb. So whatever side your TC is on, so here I'll fly into my TC, obviously we want to honeycomb this. And if you haven't already and you have the resources, sheet metal the top to make yourself a little more expensive of a raid. Okay. Coming over here, we are going to remove this wood. It doesn't have to be, but it's just a waste of wood in the TC. And we're gonna honeycomb these sections in. And if you don't have a ladder hatch early game, what I suggest doing with these entrances is simply grabbing, you can window that off. You could shop front that as well if you do want to. But put a furnace in here, and I'll do this to both sides here. Okay. So those will be our jump ins for now until we have the good old ladder hatches, because that raises the raid cost just a little bit. And you don't need them, you can leave them out if you're a little bigger group, but if you're solo duo, it's not the worst to have them in. Okay. Sealing this part off, like so. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to build up our core loot rooms. These are going to be our open core loot rooms. So I'm grabbing sheet metal and building 2 floors up on both sides. And at this point, if you have the sheet metal, take it and rotate it like so. Half walls in here. And you might notice that you can't place this ramp right now. And the reason you can't do that, if you come below, is because these boxes here are technically clipping through. If you have any deployables below any of the ramps that are being placed, they'll mess with that stuff. So now coming back up after removing those boxes, it's easy. Same with both the TC loot room. And obviously you replace those, you're good. Okay, switching back over to stone, I'm going to keep building what is necessary. And I'll be switching a little bit of resources back and forth here, like so. Grabbing twig, this is how you get the shelf in here. So you place a twig square through the wall, you can place a twig triangle, and you come back with a, you can replace it then through, like so. Boom, and now to break the little buildup that you do through the wall. Okay. Now, if you do have the resources early game, I do suggest upgrading this entire second floor right away, as otherwise it just becomes a waste of resources. So if you can sheet metal this entire thing like so right away, it is like really key. But if you don't have the resources, it's not the end of the world. Excuse my mess up right there. Turning this into a jump up, you're fine. So yeah, obviously, if you have the sheet metal right away for this floor, it'd be really nice. But obviously, you might not have it. So this corner piece is perfectly fine early game, staying stone like this. So if you have the resources, go ahead and do it, but if you don't, it is okay. Continuing through expanding, using these half walls just as placeholders to place these shelves, and placing our ramps. Okay, and then I'm going to upgrade these tiles. Okay, coming up into our open core, placing windows. I like to sheet metal these right away. Grab a floor frame here and sheet metal it so this still, no matter what, stays 8 rockets. Okay. Jumping up to the next level, make sure I'm still on stone here, and build up another level. These sides will become bedrooms on both sides, these squares. And then this will just turn into another jump up. And put an embrasure on this as early as possible as well. Nothing wrong with that. And we're going to seal this off. Okay. Placing our ramps. These will be what would be like our inner peaks. They're our core peaks. And then I'm going to sheet metal this entire roof. And making this a jump up once again. And we're just using the same triangle as a jump up over and over and over again, which is perfectly fine in a base like this. It's not that big. Okay. I like to put double door frames here. And this is where our windows are going to go for our flex vending machines. Like so. And then single door frames here. You can make these double doors if you want. I just like single doors as I usually have more armored single doors later to wipe than armored double doors for spots. So I usually like keeping these as single doors. Okay. And then sealing these off like so. Okay. Coming back outside, we're going to build this honeycomb up 2 levels. Before, this is very important here. Make sure this is sheet metal. This is where our turrets are going to go. It's super important to sheet metal this entire little compartment like this. Super important. Okay. That's more important than like all the other stuff in this area. Just a little bit of sheet metal for high raid cost. Okay. Sheet on the top of this like this. These can stay stone. And finally, this will be our roof exits. Now, you may be realizing the base is almost done. So it's kind of crazy, but this is the entire main module of the base done. All there is left to do is technically upgrade this thing entirely to sheet metal and HQM and make our wide gaps in our compound and our mini China wall. So here, I'll show you guys from the inside just really how fast this progression can go. And don't forget to put a ramp here just so it stops people from getting all the way to the other side. And then I'll place these ramps, upgrading everything that I can as necessary. Okay. Coming into here, I'm going to break this. Start putting some garage doors down. Every slot that can have a garage door in this area, it's key that you have it, as just higher raid costs in a small base like this. And then jump it up here. And obviously, I'm obviously leaving every door open, so it's nice and easy. Okay. Coming down to our core, I'm going to show you guys how to upgrade everything. Basically, it's a little bit of a spam HQM kind of day, where all you're going to do is spam upgrade everything to HQM. It's a really small core, so it's not like it's super expensive to HQM. And then the first spot you're gonna want to sheet metal is this entire area right here, like so. And that'll be good. And I personally like to put my tier 3, whenever you can get it, on this wall. Okay. Obviously, fill in your deployables in this loot room, upgrade everything accordingly. See, our upkeep's super cheap still. Going up. Okay. Next thing to do, I'm going to teach you guys is how to place these core box loot rooms. It's pretty simple. Grab your large box and pull it as close to you as humanly possible for these bottom ones. Next, line yourself up in the middle and slowly pull forward till it goes blue and then goes far right as possible as far left as possible. Make sure you have a garage door placed first, then you can place one right in the middle, like so. Obviously every box is accessible, tons of loot storage. Same with these, come up to the left, slowly pull forward until you can place. Far left as possible, far right as possible. I like to put a triangle here to make it easier to place, and then do this. Look at that, 8 boxes in a really small amount of loot space. Okay, and I'll show it once again, just doing it quickly. Okay, cool. Next part that we want to upgrade right away. So the first upgrades of your base, other than this side being sheet metaled, the best things to do are upgrading these modules straight up on every side. So like upgrading the honeycomb of what your TC is down there, and upgrading where the jump ups are technically. So your jump ups are less exposed and less likely to get hit, because you'd rather have the raiders break in through these squares right now that are just stone, rather than them hitting through this and being through a door. So you'd rather have them come in from this point right now, because they're gonna hit a ramp no matter what, and that's gonna force them to use like a ton more rockets. So that's the goal right now. Okay. And as you can tell, this thing is like pretty good. Another thing you can do right now, if you really want to, you can add 2 vending machine bunkers on the roof, like so. To do so, you're gonna place this like this, grab a vending machine, and obviously I'm doing this different than what was actually in the tour. We use triangles to open it in the tour. We're gonna make it so it's squares so consoles can use it. Grab a vending machine and literally shove it as close to this wall as possible. Okay, grab twig, open up this bunker, and it works. And we're not spamming any of these, we're just doing 2. That's all you really need for a base like this. You can use these as your shops, is what I suggest you use them for, and maybe stashing a little bit of reset loot, so like some comps or something. Like so. So at this point, if you build this in 1 day, you are now a technically expensive raid. It's pretty good, especially if you spam all those garage doors. And if you just put your externals on for anti-grief, they can't get these vending machines, and they are just out of luck. So you can really drive up the raid cost really high because of this. And you still have tons of room to land minis and all that in the middle. Okay. So, coming to any one of our triangles on this side, I'm going to toggle back on symmetry, or toggle on symmetry rather, to actually make our externals. That way I don't have to rebuild it 4 times, and it's pretty simple. You'll get it. So build out 3 triangles. I'm gonna do this out of twig rather. Apologies. 2 squares. 1 more. And then come back with triangles, and I'll break your build out. Okay, you should be left with this little footprint. I'm gonna sheet metal just to show. This is how big your gap is. It's a wide gap. And then 3 triangles, break that. Okay. And then I'm gonna upgrade these to sheet metal as well right away. Okay, to place our external TC, we're simply gonna go out 1, 2, 3 with a raised foundation. I'm gonna sheet metal these. Gonna come over stone, do it like so. Okay. Now placing a twig, 1 more square, square, triangle, triangle. And then I'm making this my disconnectable. You can obviously use any kind of disconnectable you want. I'm just using ramps in this base tutorial. You can do main tutorial or whatever you would like. And then placing your TC here with a twig ramp. So twig, and then sheet metaling this and breaking that twig. Okay. Make sure to put your doors on this entire thing. So if I can grab my single door, there we go. 2 garage doors and a single door. Okay, so I'm gonna go to half symmetry here, so it's only gonna be mirrored on 2 sides. So 2 of your sides are going to be bedrooms into base, which I suggest be on the opposite sides of what your entrances are. Okay, so I want your entrances into compound on the same side that is an entrance into base, like so. So making our entrances here Obviously these things aren't too complex, they're just nice little gatehouses with some peaks into the interior, and then I just personally do double doors. And it's got spots for turrets beneath. Like so. Those are those, and then coming over to these guys. Same kind of concept, but we're gonna do one thing different. We're gonna wall this entire thing in. So you have room for this. And I personally like to sheet metal this entire half like this, so I can put my battery in here. So it's a, you know, more defended battery, not just super cheap from the outside. And then I like to put a locker. I personally like to embrasure this off as well then, just with this so it can't be reached super cheaply. And place my 2 beds. And finally double dooring it off. You can garage door this off too, personal preference, like so. Okay. Place our compound now. I'm gonna switch back over to full symmetry. It's gonna be a 16 wall compound, but before we do that, I'm gonna put our barricades on top. You can do this with less barricades. You can do this with just 2, I believe, but I like to do 3 as it makes it a little harder for grubs to get in, like so. And then breaking your little pieces that you use to build. Okay. Place our compound is a 4 wall compound. If you're not amazing at compound placement, just follow me here. How I line things up. Looks good. And obviously it doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to connect in the middle. And then looking right to left. Pretty good. Pretty good compound, obviously. It's not perfect, it's not super symmetrical, but it's a compound, it's all you need. Okay. Now we are on to the shooting floor and mini China wall segment. Oh, wait, apologies. Let me come back here and place these turrets underneath for furnace protection. And obviously, please put your large furnaces in this area, your oil refineries. You get turrets watching them. Super good. Yep. Here. Now I'm going to keep symmetry on for this entire segment, as it's just going to make the shooting floor build up much quicker and easier for a few people to follow. So, starting at the bottom, double doors here, and window frames here. Double door frames on both of these, like so. Now you see this weird gap. This is where we put our double doors. So 2 double doors swinging out towards each other will create that. And if you don't want people to be able to get in through the top, it's personal preference. You can leave this open, or you could seal it off like this, is what I personally like to do, and you're good. Okay. And now coming with sheet metal, I'm gonna actually upgrade, destroy and upgrade these so Sanctuary doesn't bug out on all sides, but make those sheet metal. And now build straight up right here. And then I personally want to sheet metal this one because this is going to be our stability for our entire shooting floor. So building up to the desired height, which it's this height. Ooh, apologies for one of the walls destroying. And grabbing stone and building up from this segment. And obviously put embrasures on your mini China wall at the bottom for peaks, and then your double doors. And you can obviously switch your turrets around to be any orientation. I personally just like them staring back as like breach turrets. Personal preference, again. And I'll swing the story to make it easier. Like this. Okay. Actually, apologies here. This section right here needs to be half walls, like so. Almost forgot, apologies. And then you do triangles like so. So let me just get that again. This is what it should look like. The single door frames here. You can put single doors in, not the frames that were there before. Apologies about that. Before windowing this off on every side. And obviously I'm trying to get a good look at it because I'm doing a little bit of symmetry stuff. I'm trying to go real slow for you guys. Coming over here, grab sheet metal. Now we want this off of main TC, like so. And then we want to fill in these spots like so. And then building this up, if it would let me place, there we go. I like to do these embrasures on these, and then I like to glass one of these off because there's going to be a bedroom up there. Putting your double door frames. Oop. Some of the stability does a little funky right there. And the simple solution to that is place this one first. So place this one first instead of these, because the stability is technically low here, but it'll be fine. So like watch. See, works perfectly fine. Okay. So, good. I'm gonna use half walls here. So, we're grabbing roof triangles and making the spots for the turrets. Okay, glass windowing this entire thing off. This is a bedroom spot, bed, locker, like so. I'll show it off here real quick. Boom. Flying down here. This is a beautiful turret spot. Put 4 turrets on shooting floor, or even 2, your entire shooting floor is practically covered, because each one watches to each other turret, as you can see here. Okay. To finish our roof, grab stone roof tiles and come at these triangles like so. I'll show you how to place them not flying. Come above on this triangle, place it like so. Jump like that. Works. And then sheet metal all this stuff like so it's a more expensive roof. Make sure to get these good old turrets on top. And now we're putting our windmills up. Too high. And apologies for this. I have symmetry on 4 sides. We only want 2 windmills on this thing right now. We don't want these on top of the bunkers. If you put the frames on top of the bunkers will not open. And that'd be bad. Okay. Let's place the windmill, jump up to where I am right now with ladders or build up. And spin the thing until it works. Boom. Okay. Flying back down here and into shooting floor. We obviously still have a lot of work to do in here. So I'm gonna keep my symmetry on how it is. I like to sheet metal these, like so. And before placing the embrasures and stuff on these, grab your vending machines and place them like so. If you've never placed vending machines in windows before, you don't have to, these are optional. Place them like how I just did there. And now you obviously have access from the inside. You can glass window these off, overnight protection kind of thing. Or whatever you want. It's personal preference yet again. Boom. And I'll usually at least just do an embrasure on these anyways. Yeah. The main turrets that you're going to want in this base, the most important ones out of all, are these turrets right here, because these turrets will look into open core. So these 2 turrets are some of the most important in the base. Please make sure you place them. Okay. Okay, continuing on with other deployable placement. Let's get bedrooms down. If I can find my locker, there we go. Lockers. Locker. Oop, apologies. Bed, bed. I just double doored these off. They're not too bad. And put our garage doors down. Single doors, I personally like them swing out. Personal preference. So, it's a team bedroom, so trying to fit as many beds as possible here. You can fit a total of 4 very easily. You can fit more, but it makes this run-in a little bit annoying. So like, if you're ever having trouble with this run-in being annoying, little tip for you guys. If there's ever something in front of a door, grab a campfire. Don't light it, but walk over the campfire onto the thing. So like here, like so. Give me a second. Let me place it properly. Here. And it'll give you a little ramp to walk over. It's really weird, but like it's just a little. Look at that. It just allows you to pass through. And this one's obviously still cooking, but it's okay. Cool. And then vending or locker, or not locker, but garage doors here. You can obviously partition this shooting floor off, but I actually like it being open because these turrets watch the entire thing anyways. So I like it being a little more open concept, but you can obviously put garage doors here and partition it off. Okay. Coming back down, more things to place, more things to place. Obviously, you want your boxes on these, like so. We already have all these boxes. Coming down to here, we have everything down to here. Obviously, place your boxes, your boxes. The only thing is the boxes that I'm not placing. So the last thing to show now is what to upgrade. So the shooting floor is already upgraded to its final form, if you can't tell, as it's just all sheet metal, like so. But the last thing that's not upgraded is actually these corners of the base. So simply come over here and sheet metal every side, like so. And I have symmetry on, so this should all be done instantly. No, it did not. That's fun. It's fine. Oh, there we go. It should be fine. So like so. That is the literal last thing you can do to this base, if you can't see here. It's now a full sheet metal base. And another thing to note is, if you do have an abundance of high qual, the best thing to upgrade in the open core, I'll jump up and over here, upgrade these back walls of these loot rooms, like so. Those are super important, and if you do still have high qual, upgrade the side walls here, and upgrade the top section, like so. Those are the best possible things to upgrade, other than just like getting your first floor ready high qual, but ours already is. And you can see this wasn't even in the tour. It doesn't really add too much. It's 170 a day. If you're chadding out, that's still fine. Like, the upkeep is dirt cheap. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Okay. That about does it for the entire base build. There isn't really anything else to touch on or say. We got all of our turret spots. We got all the compound, everything. Wide gap shooting floor, the open core, the core peaks. It's good. So if you guys have any other questions, please join the Discord and ask me whatever you have. If you have building questions in general, whatever it may be, please ask. Link will be in the description if you are already not there. I love you guys. I will see you all later, and good luck on the wipe.